of roles. Intel maybe has Apple saying, "Ay caramba," the chip maker unveiling another competitor to the iPad. But this one could be a little different. The Ultrabook, as it's called, is actually a thin laptop that acts like a tablet computer, doing things, though, that the iPad cannot do. For example, like cook your breakfast. That was just a joke. Anyway, it's set to hit stores in time for Christmas, and Apple today announcing it'll roll out a new mobile operating system next week. Both stocks were up today as the companies try to sort of one-up each other. Marketing expert Laura Ries says Intel's Ultrabook could be a game changer. Explain, Laura, what's the big buzz about this?
Oh, well, there's huge buzz, but I don't think it's going to be quite the game changer you think it is. I don't think it's going to knock out the iPad, but look out laptops. This could revolutionize and replace many of what people think of when they think of a laptop.
So wait a minute, Intel could be killing itself.
Well, yes, or it could be moving to the future. I mean, in some ways, all dinosaurs go extinct eventually, and I think they do need to look at the future. The iPad has a certain market, but let's not forget the real workhorse out there, and those are the business users. They're not sexy, but they make a lot of money, and they buy a lot of computers, and certainly laptops. That's where the future is. They can't do all their work on an iPad. They'll be watching movies, for heaven's sakes, all day.
But a lot of people do. In fact, I own an iPad myself. And I'm doing things on that I used to do. I haven't given up my laptop, but I'm doing things on that I used to do, and on these laptops. And I'm wondering, if maybe I'm not alone, and if younger people in particular, who are much more savvy in this stuff than I'll ever be, are migrating to these devices. Maybe Intel is too little, too late.
Well, they are migrating because there are lots of things you can do on them. But as you say, you can't do everything on them. That's why you keep your laptop. And I think this will be a great replacement. Again, I don't think you want to try to pry iPads out of people's hands. For Intel to say that would be crazy. It's going to be very hard. But very
maybe,
easy to pry the laptops.
All right, I'm sorry, Laura. What if people had a tough choice to make? I've heard about these Ultrabooks that are sort of like an iPad on steroids, or just an iPad. What do they do?
Well, and I think that's where they're going to have a problem. If they continually compare themselves to an iPad, they're going to lose every time because people, I think, will prefer the iPad. But if you're going to buy a laptop, why not buy this laptop that does include some of the cool iPad touchscreen? And it is instant on is a huge thing. Remember, people don't buy the product for what it is. They buy it for what it does, what they can do to it, with it. An iPad was 10,000 songs in the pocket. That's what made it so exciting.
I'll tell you though, Laura, this could be a game changer if it didn't open up like a laptop. If it was just a... seriously, I do mean that if it's a device that's by itself, you see the screen, you're ready to go, boom.
Instant
it could
on
be a game.
is,
Well,
I think.
right. What do you think of that and whether this measures up?
Well, and I think they're going to try to sell too many things, too many specs on this thing. They need to focus on one thing. And I think the one thing that frustrates people more than anything with the laptop is it takes 10 minutes to boot up. It's ridiculous. I spend half the flight booting up and booting down. If it's instant on laptop, I think there's a huge market that will appeal to. It could be a game changer.
All right. Laura, on the next flight, just read a magazine. You're working way too hard. Laura Ries, thank you very, very much. Well, global warming, meta scaring, we compare, you decide.